Douche tubing isn't as easy as I make it sound. It's a very competitive field to be a successful douche tuber on this website. It's really an ass-eat-ass world when it comes to this shit, so you have to really go all in to try and find something unique to make yourself stand out in the douche tubing community. And this guy really came up with something wild here. This is a used condom prank on his mom. Truly nothing is sacred anymore. The gloves are coming off, and is the condom, clearly. Let's check this shit out. Let's see how the prank went.
Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's Kelvin Santana. Oh my god.
This is Kelvin. He's his own favorite comedian, constantly making himself laugh uncontrollably, and I have absolutely nothing against this guy at all. I just find him to be the perfect example for the impact douche tubers have on the younger generation. This is obviously a young man who's watched a lot of douche tubers in his day, you know, the greats like Nate Garner and Morgs, and now he's trying to emulate what they've done because he saw how successful they were. And I just find that to be really sad that so many younger people are growing up aspiring to be like these assholes on the internet who film themselves being public nuisances for money.
I'm sorry guys, I'm just a little too excited right now, but if this is your first time on my channel and your first time seeing this beautiful precious face, okay, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Boy, you are ugly.
Oh, ouch.
Alright you guys, my mom is out of the house right now, so I went to the store a while back and I caught myself a little bit at ease. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a condom, baby. It goes on wieners.
Smash that like button for crazy condom stunts. Condom buying prank gone wild and sexual on mommy. Also, the way I know this prank is fake immediately is there's no way this kid is even old enough to buy condoms, so he needed his mom to go with him to buy condoms for him for this video. And even if that wasn't the case, conceptually, I don't really understand it. I don't know what Kelvin was expecting, like his mom to storm in there and get really offended that his son's got a condom on the floor, like she's upset that he cheated on her, maybe. But that's a really weird incest angle to work with and pretty disturbing to think about. Because like I feel like the normal reaction to a parent finding a condom would just be like, ooh, yucky, can you clean that up? That's kind of gross. Not like an overreaction gone wrong where she starts fucking flipping tables after seeing the condom and punching holes in walls and shit in her pants.
I'm gonna add some lotion inside the condom for you know what.
Have to critique the setup here. That's not what a condom on the floor in its natural habitat would look like. That's way too clean. This looks like a glamour shot, a photo shoot with a condom here, like it's advertising the brand. If you wanted this to be convincing, this wouldn't fool anyone. An expert of condom identification like me would immediately walk in here and call your ass a fucking fraud. It's just so obviously staged here, and no one would have the condom wrapper next to it. It just makes no sense. It needs to look natural, as if this just happened by pure accident, you know? Maybe some pee-pee stains around the condom, some urine drips around it, because let's say you ejaculated for so long and so hard that your body got confused and started just pissing really hard, filling the condom with urine, and then you panic, you throw the condom on the floor, bang, now you got some pee-pee and semen on your floor. Happens all the time, and that gives the condom on the floor some character. And it gives a little bit of a story, and you need the condom to have a story to it or no one's gonna believe it. You throw in the urine and then bang, you're fooling even Penn and Teller with your condom setup prank.
Yeah. Pero busca el fabuloso, dale, para que limpie. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? Oh. ¿Qué es eso? Really, Kevin?
I skipped through the part where he calls his mom and tells her the cat threw up. That was his plan to get her in there by blaming it on the cat, calling her to come clean up cat vomit because he's incapable of doing it himself. I think it's a lame way of doing it. I would have gone a lot further. I would have called her panicked, Mom, I'm being haunted by a used condom. It's floating around. Holy shit, we need the Ghostbusters because Bustin's making me feel good. Oh shit, help, Mom. And then she'd rush in there all like, you know, confused and panicked. And then she'd see me on the bed and I'd be covered in used condoms, like a fucking sarcophagus of used condoms. She would be scarred, disturbed, and that would be some fat fucking douche tubing content. Take some notes, Kelvin. If you're gonna do the used condom prank again on your mom, you gotta double down on that shit.
What are you doing? Put it down. That's so dirty. That's so disgusting, Mom. What are you doing?
Yo pensé que mi hijo tenía un huevo bien grande. He's too small.
What are you? What are you doing?
Ahí se ve cámara.
As if every mom doesn't know the cock size of their child. It's a bit of a weird thing right there, you know, the mom looking at the cum and like a detective being like, based on the volume of your semen, I can deduce that your penis is small, and I thought it'd be big. It's a bit of a weird statement, but clearly it was a joke. You know, she's in on it, she saw the camera, and the next minute of the video is just him yelling about it and screaming and shit, so the prank really ends there, and what a banger it was. So, yeah, if you want to try the use condom prank on your mom, you might get some gone wrong shit going on, like what happened with Calvin and his mom. His shit was wild. Absolutely wild. That's it. So, yeah. It's been a few years since the last time we took a peek at the Dobre brothers' content. I actually completely forgot about them, but today I was reading about a bunch of teenage girls that were melting down and crying, losing their minds because they thought one of the Dobre brothers, Marcus, had committed suicide. And it's all because of this video here. My twin brother is dead? Now, you may remember a couple years ago, it was actually a pretty popular trend for YouTube pranksters to fake a suicide in order to play an epic prank on their significant other. Of course, it was all fake, the significant others were in on it, but the audience that watches this dog shit is too young to realize that. So when they see things like this, they get really sad. When you scroll into the comments section of this video, it's nothing but these kids going, I couldn't stop crying, I spilt milk all over my diaper, I was so afraid Marcus got banished to the shadow realm, shaking their fist in the sky, give him back, God, we need Marcus on this earth. And then they'll make like a reply to their comment like, just finished the video, so glad it's a prank, they got me good. And you know, I can't even blame them for being fooled by the Dobre brothers. They're such great actors, I was almost convinced Marcus took his own life. Let's go ahead and check out the video.
I got a letter from Marcus. It says, put this on YouTube. I want everyone to know. I guess it's a note from Marcus or something?
I guess so.
I don't know what this is.
This is the most Dobre brothers shit ever. They actually act like they've all been lobotomized. The dude literally says, I just got a letter from Marcus, and then goes on to say, I don't know what this is. I guess it's a note from Marcus or something. It's like in fucking 50 First Dates with that guy that can only remember 3 seconds of any sentence. It's fucking crazy. It's clearly there just to like pad out the time of the video to breach 10 minutes, but goddamn, it's infuriating. All their videos are like this too. It just reminds me of Dora the Explorer. Do you see a bridge? And then the kids are like, it's right there, Dora. You're literally fucking looking at it, you dumb idiot. Right there. Like all the Dobre brothers do the same shit where it's like, this is what it is. It's a note from Marcus. You guys know what this could possibly be? This letter from maybe Marcus?
To my family, Lucas, Mom, Dad, Silas, Darius, and everyone else. I just want to say I love you guys so much, and I wanted to write you this letter before I go. I'm gonna miss you so much, but now I'm gone forever.
Are you serious?
Yeah, what is this?
I like how it just starts with put this on YouTube and then goes on to explain that he's no longer going to be living anymore. He's going to commit unalive. Why the fuck would he want that put on YouTube? For the Dobre brothers, everything's content, even seppuku. This would be like if Kurt Cobain in his suicide note was like, hey, by the way, guys, I'm going to film this. If you could go ahead and air this tape on Nickelodeon, that'd be great.
Lucas, please split our money with our family. What is he talking about?
Sounds like a will, bro.
Also, Lucas, you can keep the YouTube channel to yourself. Please don't give up on our fans. They really love us so much, and we keep them happy.
No.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I also don't know what he's talking about. These two love their fans so much that they convinced him that Marcus died from suicide, an extremely serious topic. An audience that still believes in the Tooth Fairy and Easter Bunny has now been fooled by the Dobre brothers into thinking Marcus took his own life. Get pranked, nerds. Even in the comment section there were a lot of kids saying like, hey, this is a little far, we're glad Marcus is alright, but it's not okay to joke about something as heavy as suicide. So even they were calling them out on it a bit. But, you know, when you watch the video, it's hard not to get invested with an incredible performance like Lucas is able to deliver here.
I left you something in the backyard to remember me. From Marcus, I will see you in the sky. What is he talking about? Hold on, let me check if he's in his room.
When you say that, it means like I'll see you when you're dead.
Really?
Like when we're dead, like I'll see you in heaven.
Hold on, let me check if he's in his room.
Oh no, Lucas is going through the 5 stages of grief here. He's in the denial phase right now. Then of course comes the lit phase for the Dobre brothers, and then the too lit phase, finally the ultra lit phase, and then the 5th stage of grief in the Dobre brothers household. A fat fucking Gangnam style. They'll probably hit the floss pretty soon as well. It's rough, you know, it's a heavy letter that he received, so he's doing his best to try and process everything in his own way. I'm usually not a fan of spoilers, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get this one out there. In the note he says, "I left you something in the backyard." Let me show you what he left them in the backyard.
What is it? Is it?
Alright, now you guys are messing with us.
Like, I swear, I don't know what's going on.
Alright, well, I can tell you one thing. If someone's buried under there, the grass is gonna feel kind of like smushy, and it doesn't really feel smushy at all.
No.
You think he's you think he's dead? Nah.
No? How can you write a letter if he's dead?
I don't know. Maybe he did something. I don't know.
A real ace team of detectives here on the case. I just finished LA Noire, streamed all of it, twitch.tv/moistcritical. Come stop by, stream every day, put a few extra inches on your penis. And I can tell you, after investigating so many cases in there, everything they're doing here, textbook. These are some real crack shot here. Move over, Sherlock Holmes, because the Dobre brothers are coming in. They're going to solve the Zodiac killer, the Black Dahlia murderer. They're going to fucking take everything by storm. This group right here is like the real world L from Death Note. Their combined intelligence can rival that of the world's greatest minds. I love how they attack this conundrum here and the way they try and deduce whether or not their brother is truly dead and buried there. So the first thing that, I believe his name is Darius, first thing he says is, well, the ground would be smushy, and it's not smushy, and he just kind of like stands on the ground, and he's like, well, I'm not sinking, so it's probably, you know, not smushy. Then the next smoking gun is, wait a minute, if he's dead, how did he write the note? So I like to put myself in this situation here. So let's say I was called to the scene, right? You know, I come up, I got my pipe, and I'm like, so there's a mystery afoot here, you know. I got the mystery gang with me, Scooby-Doo and the crew. So the first thing I'd start asking is, how did this happen? You know, did he have help? Because let's say he truly is buried there, and the perpetrator's got this Party City Halloween decoration tombstone on top of him. How did this happen? Because there's no way he did it himself. If it was truly suicide, he wouldn't have been able to, like, bury himself alive that deep. It would have been extremely hard, you know? That takes a lot of work, which means there would have been someone helping him, or perhaps foul play, and someone murdered him and then forged a suicide note to make it look like a suicide. So, you know, I'd start pointing fingers at the entire family. It'd get messy quick.
I don't know. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, Marcus, you in here? Marcus? Marcus? He's not even in there. Is he anywhere else in the house? Let's check.
Alright.
Maybe he's in the backyard or something. Marcus!
If Lucas doesn't win an Academy Award for the performance in this short, then the entire organization is corrupt. This is a stellar performance right here. Up there with some of the greats. This is amazing. Like, when I first watched this, I was on the edge of my seat like, oh my god, Marcus could be anywhere. And Lucas is going to find him. You can hear the desperation in Lucas's voice. You can see how desperately he wants to find his brother, you know? He doesn't want to accept that maybe Marcus has left the corporeal realm. He still thinks there's a chance Marcus is either in his room, hiding under the bed, maybe he's standing in the backyard playing some basketball. But no, Marcus was nowhere to be found.
Should I call my mom and dad?
Because either
Tell my brothers?
Yeah, bro, either these things are not good. Either he meant disappearing, like he's gone and we still gotta go, like, find him and see why he would decide to do that, or he meant, you know what I mean, like.
Is this serious like that?
Yeah, it is.
The situation's not looking great right now. They've checked Marcus's room, they've checked the laundry room, they've checked the second laundry room, they've checked the third laundry room, they've checked the butler's room, they've checked the second butler's room, they've checked 5 living rooms, they've checked 14 garages, they've checked the backyard, and they haven't found him. Luckily, all hope isn't lost yet. They haven't checked the whole house. They've only done about half so far. They still haven't even gone to the helicopter pad to look for him there, so they've tried calling him to no avail. He didn't answer, which is very uncharacteristic of Marcus, but they've gone to all of his usual hangout spots and they haven't seen him yet, so this is just not looking amazing.
What is it? It's from Marcus. I don't know what it is.
I don't know why he so aggressively snatches the note from Lucas. He's just like, hey, here's a note from Marcus. Fuck, give me that shit. I hate that guy. Marcus? God damn it, fine, I'll read it.
To my family, Lucas, Mom, Dad, Cyrus, Dari. I just want to say I love you guys so much.
He ran away.
And I wanted to write you this letter before I go. I'm gonna miss you so much, but now I'm gone forever. You just disappeared. Is there something in the sky?
No, I didn't go in the backyard yet. But
Yeah, Darius, there is something in the sky. It's called heaven. And Marcus just went up there to make it a little bit more lit. I don't know why no one in this family can just, like, read and comprehend what they're reading. It's like they're reading it out loud, but it's not actually entering their brain. So they just keep, like, repeating the stupidest questions of all time. I understand, again, it's just to, like, pad out the length of the video, but goddamn, it is frustrating.
It's just a prank if you're not even acting worried, like...
I don't know if it's a prank or not.
If my brother left me, I'd be freaking out, like...
I know, I am.
Let's just check the backyard and see what it is, because then we'll know, you know, it's a clue. So where are we going?
The mystery begins to get a bit deeper here, because Darius says, if my brother left me, I'd be worried. But this is your brother, isn't it? I was under the impression they were all brothers, but him saying that has really confused me. Because it seems like that wasn't like him misspeaking. Maybe they really like aren't related. I don't know. But now I'm just fucking lost here in the lore of the Dobre brothers. I'll spare you their little scavenger hunt outside. It's pretty painful. They don't do anything. The most that happens outside is one of them kicks an icicle. And that's about it. So I'll just go ahead and get the ending to you and let you know Marcus is okay. And he even tells us himself.
It sucks. Everyone thinks everything's a prank now. Nah, let's cut the video, bro. Alright, guys, stop. I am not dead. I just wanted to prank my family. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Don't worry. I'm still alive. I love you guys so much. I flew out to LA by myself just to pull off this prank. I can't believe I did it.
What a climactic reveal. The master plan finally unveiled to the audience. And shucks, he got us good. He really did. He had me going. I really thought he had, you know, left this plane of existence. It was just so well executed. And he really committed to the prank. He flew all the way to LA just to pull off this bad boy, the magnum opus of practical jokes. An amazing banger from the Dobre brothers again. I just wanted to share this because I thought it was real silly. That's about it. So yeah. This is a video I've been debating making for the last 24 hours. I think this situation is extremely important to talk about, but it's also really complicated. This shit is more confusing than the plot to the movie Tenet. So let's just get into it. Let's spread apart these ass cheeks and get into the stinky meat here. I want to quickly hit you with the cliff notes on why you should care about this situation and why it's a big deal. There's an absolutely awful comedian named Brendan Schaub who is currently suing a small YouTuber over jokes they made about him. Also worth noting that YouTuber lost both of their channels, perhaps because of Schaub, though that's still alleged. If it's true though, then Brendan just gave him the quarter pounder with cheese. Got the double whammy in there. And why this is a big deal is because Brendan Schaub is going after him because of the jokes he made, but also because he showed clips of his podcast in order to make some of the jokes and criticize him, and is claiming it's not fair use and it's a violation. And obviously fair use is very important on YouTube and the internet in general. So should this actually go to court and should this clown somehow win, it sets a really bad legal precedent. Now let me get a bit more into the lore of this awful comedian. So there's a terrible comedian named Brendan Schaub who was a former MMA fighter, and he rose to fame not really from MMA, though he was very successful there. He came into the public eye thanks to his frequent appearances on the Joe Rogan podcast. I think he's the #1 reoccurring guest on Rogan. He's been there like 80 fucking times. So he basically got his career by suckling off of Joe Rogan's hot dog-sized nipples, and from that used it as a platform to make his own podcast. The dude's got like fucking 10 podcasts, so he has like a lot of productions, and it's something called Thick Boy Media, and he also tries to do comedy, unsuccessfully. The most entertaining thing about Brendan Schaub is when people are making fun of him, because he is the joke. The only comedy he provides to the world is in the form of a punching bag for people to laugh at and joke about. He himself steals jokes, allegedly, and I tried to watch one of his stand-up specials. It was fucking miserable. Watching Brendan Schaub desperately try to fish for the punchline to the joke he's attempting to tell is like watching a dog try and cross the street with oncoming traffic on its way. It's just painful and you just want to like look the other way. It's miserable. And half of the stories he tells are blatantly just lies. Like, you can tell he is making it up on the spot, in order to one-up someone. Like, I was watching him interact on another or actually it might have been his podcast, I don't remember now, but he was talking with Chris D'Elia, and they were talking about being out of gas. And Brendan Schaub just comes out of nowhere, like, raises his hand. Oh, wait, actually, I was out of gas like you guys, but in a much cooler way. You see, I'd actually just won a fight, and after winning a fight and having 15 threesomes, I was in my Hummer H2, he makes sure to specify, brand new Hummer H2, and I was running low on gas, and I was like, I can ride this bitch out, but I couldn't. I ran out of gas. So then I had to, with my Hercules-like strength, push this Hummer myself all the way to the nearest gas station. And then the gas station guy said, didn't I just see you on TV? They need to pay you more. That was his story. Of course, I embellished it a little bit, but the story was, I just want to fight. My brand new Hummer was running out of gas, and then I had to solo push it to a gas station where the gas station guy recognized me and said they need to pay me more. That obviously didn't happen. There's like no reality where that ever fucking happened. I wasn't there. I wasn't like tapped into the NSA security cameras nearby or anything, but I can say with a high level of confidence he made that shit up in order to just one-up everyone around him for no reason. Like, there's no moral to the story. There's no like good jokes in the story or anything entertaining about it. It's just him being a fucking douchebag. If you were solo pushing a Hummer, who was steering it? How did you push this Hummer and steer it all the way to the gas station? How far away were you? There's just no chance. And then just so happens the guy working the gas station watched you on TV moments before and then mentioned you don't get paid enough, and then what, everyone clapped, and then you became prom king? Like, he blows my mind. He is quite literally that frat douchebag everyone knew in college that would tell the worst jokes of all time, but no one bothered to stop them because no one cared, no one laughed, no one gave them any attention, but they convinced themselves that they were super entertaining in their own mind. That is him. That is Brendan Schaub. That is the comedic stylings of this absolute troglodyte. But anyway, so he is currently suing a small YouTuber over jokes that they were making about him. He's very sensitive. Brendan Schaub may look like a big tough guy, but he's actually a really soft, insecure man, if you can believe that. So the jokes hurt his feelings, and he used another company to take down the videos that were criticizing him, joking about him, and then went the extra step to sue him. Now, I can't show you the video where the YouTuber was going through the lawsuit because he just fucking showed the full legal document, because I can't show it because that's taken down, and also probably wasn't a good idea to just show the actual legal document. I'm sure there's something in place to say you can't do that, but he was very transparent with Brendan Schaub's legal document that was sent to him. It is a full-blown suing case from what I can tell. I'm no expert. I'm not a lawyer. I didn't pass the fucking bar or anything, but it does seem like he is going all out to fuck this man in the ass. I imagine this was supposed to be some kind of scare tactic to frighten this individual and make them stop posting mean things about Brendan, but the YouTuber said that they are going to fight it, they are going to go to court, and I think that's great because they need to beat this case. They need to continue to set this precedent across the platform that you cannot abuse this system like this. This is not okay. This is very clearly an exploitation of the system. This is just a slam dunk victory for the YouTuber being sued because Brendan Schaub has no case. If Brendan Schaub somehow won this, then it actually hurts Brendan Schaub too, because from what I understand, he also reacts to videos and uses clips from other things in order to joke and criticize. So if he wins this case, he fucks himself too. It's like mutually assured destruction from an absolute goddamn supervillain idiot. It makes no sense, and I don't think anyone around Brendan Schaub is smart enough to tell him how stupid he is. And I wish I could show you some clips of Brendan Schaub and all of this going on, but I'm not going to take any chances with how fast and loose he's being with the legal system here, so I'm not going to show anything from any of his podcasts or anything he said. But what makes this situation really complicated is the fact that there's no real hero in this story. The YouTuber that's being sued is someone that I wouldn't really root for under normal circumstances. I don't want to mention their name, and I don't want anyone to harass Brendan Schaub or this YouTuber. I'm not going to mention their name, but I've seen a lot of archived live streams from their channels where a lot of very disturbing shit was happening. This individual sometimes would get drunk on stream and have incoherent ramblings and say some really fucked up and tasteless shit sometimes. And in one case in particular, I saw a clip of them leaving the stream and then arguing with their girlfriend, and it did sound like some type of domestic violence was occurring in the background. This is all alleged, and this is only based off of live streams that have been archived, but over the course of like the last 2 or 3 years that I was able to like look at this person, I saw a lot of people talking about frequent domestic violence on stream. I saw a lot of clips of him and his significant other constantly arguing, yelling, shouting, screaming, and just a lot of really disturbing things.
Playful retard. Has no idea what's really happening. Oh, she annoys me.
Kyle, it's her birthday, man.
What is it? Yeah, stupid. You didn't get banned. You just were irrelevant. And I gotta handle kids because you couldn't, stupid.
Ban him forever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you're a fucking retard, fuck. We're going to the fucking kids. This fuck.
I like fighting with you. Abusive.
Like I said, his channels are down, so I can't look at his content myself and see him. I can only experience this through the re-uploads from his community and the community members talking about the streams and talking about these clips. But from what I've seen, it is some pretty fucked up things. I've seen a couple of interviews with him as well as people talking about him, and there's just a lot that is not great. Especially that clip where it does sound like he is hitting something or someone. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that's just a complete wrong interpretation of what's happening, but I just wanted to say from everything I did see on this individual with like the arguing, which happened on stream often, and the drunk streams where really not great things were talked about, it's not someone that I would be like super enthusiastic to support, but I do hope they beat the case against Brendan Schaub, because Brendan Schaub is basically salting the fucking earth here. As these cases build up, if any of them win with these absolute bogus bullshit claims in court, if any of those win, it sets that legal precedent going forward, which means other equally stupid idiots like Brendan Schaub can abuse the system the same way. So I still hope that they beat Brendan Schaub, but I recognize that they might not be a good person themselves. But yeah, I do think this is an important case, because this is only one of a handful of cases where a YouTuber goes after another YouTuber on absolute bullshit claims. And hopefully, just like the previous cases with like Ethan Klein versus whatever the dude's name was, I'm already forgetting his name, hopefully this case will also result in that shit being shut down as well. Like I said, I think this was probably just supposed to be a scare tactic that didn't work and might find its way to court, though I still do think that's unlikely. I'm hoping the case just gets dropped and doesn't go that far, but if it does, hopefully it gets an absolutely biblical smackdown in court, just gets fucking slapped off and don't have to worry about it again. But yeah, I just wanted to cover the situation because I do think it's an important one to talk about, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah, how far would you go for TikTok views? Would you sell your soul? Slap your mother? Slap my mother? You better not. I'd come over there and bite your dick off. But what about going to jail for 3 years? Does that sound reasonable for TikTok views in exchange for that prison sentence? How bad do you want it? What's your limit? Would you throw away 3 years of your life just for a few TikTok likes? If your answer to that question is no, you're a pussy, you're a coward, and you will never make it as a viral TikTok superstar sensation like this guy and his friends. I'm kind of underselling the story. Not only did the main guy in this video get 3 years, but his 2 friends that helped him make it got 2 years in prison. So check this out. What an epic prank, am I right? That shit was too lit. I almost spit out my apple juice. They got him good. Those fucking idiots never even saw it coming. The stupid conductor of this train, multi-track drifting around, thinking he's gonna get his passengers to their destination on time. Nuh-uh. Not on this cool guy's watch. He busts out the desk, he pops in a cigarette to smoke. I mean, he's probably the coolest fucking guy I've ever seen in my life. He's got the desk out so that way he can have optimal angles to look at the Tinder profile pics of girls that don't meet his standards. He's definitely a kissless virgin by choice because no girl is worthy of his perfect lips because he's just the ultimate Adonis. So he's decided, let's smoke it up a little bit. The train, it doesn't matter. So he stops it, he says, hey, public transportation can suck on my fucking asshole. And that's exactly what they do. And now he'll be sucking on some buttholes in prison. This happened in Morocco. He was originally facing 5 to 10 years in jail, but that sentence was lightened to 3 years, and his 2 friends that helped him film this have 2 years in jail now. And I gotta say, it was worth it. This is the coolest video I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure all the other inmates are going to be blown away by this dude's TikTok clout. They won't be able to get enough of his stories about this video going viral. Oh man, they're going to love that. Now obviously the main douchebag here is extremely pathetic, but I think the saddest people in this video are the one filming and the one that give him the coffee cup. These two goofy goobers got 2 years in jail and got none of the internet points for it. They didn't even have their names associated with this. They were faceless nobodies who got roped into this guy's awful, dumb fucking TikTok video and are now going to jail for 2 years for it, with none of the minor celebrity status attached to it. They got nothing. They're going to jail because they couldn't tell their friend that the idea was fucking stupid. These two guys are absolutely your classic yes men, too afraid to say no to anything and then let you make the worst fucking decisions. You don't want friends like this that always say yes. But these guys go the extra mile and not only say yes, but encourage the awful decision and actively participate in it. Just out of pure desperation for just the tiniest bit of internet clout. They just want to latch on to the nipples of the pseudo-internet celebrity and get breastfed a little bit. Just suckle on the titties and just a little bit of internet clout, which they didn't get. But they did get a nice prison sentence for it. Now, not to sound like your grandpa complaining about loud music, but TikTok is truly poisoning the minds of some young people. Like, this shit is crazy. Everyone thinks they're the protagonist of their own anime. Everyone has this main character energy about them where they are the center of the universe. And this is just a perfect example of it. I couldn't be happier that this douchebag and his friends are actually going to prison for this. They're just attention-seeking public nuisances, an actual hemorrhoid to society. Not to go full Joker on you. But yeah, TikTok is absolutely poisoning some people on there. It's taking us backwards down the evolutionary ladder. 100 years from now, I probably have to rediscover fire and relearn basic language, because all humans will know is stupid fucking TikTok dances and shit like that. But maybe it's bigger than that. Maybe TikTok is like this intergalactic plague. It's the reason we haven't been visited by aliens. It truly is like the great filter. So when a civilization becomes technologically advanced enough to reach like tier 1 or tier 2, all roads lead to TikTok, so then they create TikTok, which bumps their civilization back down to the fucking Stone Ages, so they can never visit us or expand past their planet, you know what I mean? It's like the Flood from Halo, this parasite that feeds off us and keeps us stupid. To be honest, this just kind of looks like an elaborate suicide attempt that didn't work. Like the thought process here, I'm gonna sit in front of a train and hope that it stops in time. Like, the amount of faith you have to have in a complete stranger there is mind-boggling, hoping that the conductor's paying enough attention to stop in time before he just fucking flattens you and sends you to the afterlife, fucking banishing you to the shadow realm. Like, it's crazy. And since everything becomes a trend on TikTok, and this was a very popular video, I'm shocked it didn't become a trend. I thought for sure this would be like the hashtag stop a train trend, where you like go on the tracks and you throw your ass in a circle, clapping your cheeks to some pop song and hope that the train stops, and then people just getting blasted by trains going all over the news. I'm actually surprised that didn't happen. Now, granted, this train isn't exactly like Thomas the Tank Engine gone wild. It seems to be moving at a slower pace than most trains I see, but it is still an extremely dangerous stunt and an extremely annoying one. Everyone on that train is now late to their shit just so you could have your 10-second TikTok video. So yeah, I definitely think the punishment fits the crime here. 3 years sounds reasonable. 2 years for his friends. I'm glad all the douchebags got thrown into the slammer. Huge round of applause to that decision made over there. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah. A year ago, there was an insufferable loser by the name of Tanner who made headlines by getting himself shot performing one of his garbage pranks, just harassing a stranger in public at the mall. He quickly found out this was the wrong one here when the guy pulled out the stick and gave him a Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare, blasting him in the stomach. I covered the story as well as the subsequent acquittal of the shooter. They accepted his claim of self-defense because he was fearful with what Tanner was doing because the prank was so fucking degenerate. However, he still faced an unlawful discharge of a firearm charge. I'm not here to just dive into that case too much, but when this happened, for the first time in Tanner's life, he made people laugh. Everyone was giggling at this story about the dumb, imbecile, idiot YouTube prankster getting himself shot by harassing a stranger for these deplorable pranks that nobody likes. Pranksters like Tanner are more hated than cockroaches, so there weren't many people that were sympathetic to his situation, especially with his attitude after the fact as well. But most people hoped that Tanner would learn a valuable lesson from this near-death experience where he nearly traded in his life for a couple tiddlywinks of internet clout. And, well, I wanted to give you a little update on Tanner today, because it's actually a tragic story. You see, when Tanner was on the hospital bed, he made a solemn vow that put tears into the eyes of everyone across the globe when he raised his fist to lead a revolution and said, "This will not stop me. I will continue to do pranks and be a public nuisance to all of those around me. Mark my words." A beautiful speech that inspired nobody except the most brain-dead individuals on the planet who are still too busy huffing glue to even remember Tanner's name. And well, sports fans, I've got a sad ending to share with you. Tanner is still doing pranks to this day. In fact, the same pranks that got him shot in the first place. And he's doing it to the tune of 15,000 views a video. Despite getting shot, despite being a spittoon that the entire world was hawking loogies into and making fun of, despite common sense telling you that you should probably stop for the sake of survival, he disregarded all of it and continues to do pranks to this day for 15,000 views of video.
He's not stopping recording me. He keeps following me around the whole store.
I mean, maybe he's...
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you famous or something? You don't realize?
I don't even know, dude. Should we go ask him, like, if he's okay?
I think he's probably, okay.
Tanner might not be famous, but his story certainly is, about the stupid YouTube prankster that got himself shot. A lot of people have heard of it now as a cautionary tale to being a douchebag growing up trying to do pranks for clout. But no one would ever recognize Tanner for that, obviously. But this is one of his more recent pranks, where he just goes up to workers at Walmart and says that his cameraman is following him around filming him, pretending he doesn't know who it is. And that's the whole thing. Nothing happens, like there's no jokes, there's nothing humorous. It's actually just idle dialogue that you would skip in a role-playing game. I think the most pathetic part isn't even him getting shot and continuing to still do this trash. What's the most pitiful aspect is that he's still so dog shit at it. Even the prank community that exists hate him because he is so boring and lame. Like, he is just bad at everything he does. He has no personality, he doesn't do any jokes, and his pranks are just like him wasting time. He just traps people in an inescapable dialogue tree of emptiness. It's just a void. There's nothing to even watch. It's actually a nothing burger. The only reason he even gets 14 to 15,000 views on these videos is because it's people that are still clowning on him for getting shot a year ago. So every comment in the comment section is people just reminding him and surprised that he's still doing it and wondering why.
But I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I've never seen nothing like it.
No, not at all. It's very strange.
If you go up there, they should be up there. The acid protection.
You guys mind walking me to them? I just get me a little bit nervous when he follows me.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Hey, I'm gonna take his camera.
No, we can't take his camera, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't like that.
We're gonna say you guys just leave this one time? No, he keeps, I walk in here by myself and he keeps following me with his camera. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know.
Okay, well.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks. Nothing is happening. I don't even know what there is to watch. The fact that not only did they record this, but then post it blows my mind. It's just employees being nice, trying to be helpful. Like nothing, like there's nothing even like remotely entertaining there. Like if I miss a step going downstairs and I hurt myself, I'm more entertained by that pain than I am sitting here in this fucking purgatory that Tanner subjects people to with these videos. It's blowing my mind. Like, brother, just do something else. Christ, man, just throw in the towel on this whole prank career. Like, I'm surprised that he hasn't pivoted his content already to buying an Among Us potion off the dark web and drinking it at 3 a.m. or something. Really take YouTube back to its roots.
Partner, this guy, do you know who this is? He's following you around the store and he's recording you. This guy right here. He's been following you for a while. I was like, well, I gotta tell you.
I have no idea.
What is he? What is he?
Takes me by surprise.
You guys doing alright?
Oh, I'm doing good. I just was letting this guy know that I'm being followed with the camera and he's not letting up.
Oh, this guy's following you?
Yeah.
Is something wrong with him, or?
Yeah, actually, there is something wrong with him. He's suffering from a terminal case of attention-seeking, a never-ending pursuit of internet brownie points. God rest his soul. You know what's even sadder to think about? Is when he got shot, that was probably the highlight of his life because there were eyes on him, finally. Like, his views on his videos blew up after he got shot because people found the channel and they wanted to go insult him and leave comments about it. And I think Tanner probably viewed that as a really positive thing, so now he's constantly chasing that high. Like, that was his magnum opus. Getting shot in a mall performing his trash YouTube pranks.
You are aware that it is a private business, correct? Are you listening to him? Yeah, oh, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything.
You know what's almost as sad as Tanner is his cameraman, who I'm pretty confident isn't being paid to do this and is risking going to jail for the sake of Tanner's pranks and Tanner's pursuit of glory. Oof.
We're here at IKEA. I don't really know what we're gonna do. We're just freestyling. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to clear the area probably here in a bit. We have Drake coming through. He's gonna want to walk through and take a look at things. So we're gonna have to clear things up. I'm the personal security guard for Drake.
No, you're not.
He's actually right there.
No, you're not. You can go ahead and go. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Where am I going?
Out, right now.
No, he's not supposed to talk because he's with Fox 5 News, and so his contract is, since he's getting hanging out with us, he has to.
Okay.
I know that this is funny to you.
Did you know Tanner calls himself a professional troll? And this is his trolling, saying Drake's coming through, and then just wasting workers' time. That's it. Also, everyone he interacts with treats him like a fucking dog, like snapping, telling him where to go because they recognize how dumb Tanner is. Like, he is a very moronic man, and they have to cater to that. They know that this is a prank, clearly. And Tanner breaks character by busting a gut when he says his cameraman can't talk. I don't even understand what there is to even smile about. It's nothing. Actually nothing. So they're getting served trespassing warnings, and it's literally just wasting people's time. Not only the workers, but anyone who unfortunately stumbled across the video. This goober got shot for degenerate pranks and still keeps doing it. That's a disease. You need help, Tanner. Holy shit. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a little update here. That's it. See ya. It doesn't matter what you believe for the origin of our species, whether we flopped out of the sea and began evolving on land, or if God made us, one thing remains true. There is something deep in our DNA that drives us to pursue the perfect prank. From the very first time a caveman grunted at his friend Krug to pull his finger, to the time that a YouTuber chased a man in a parking lot with a knife and got shot to death, there has always been this subconscious desire to find and execute the perfect prank. And friends, I'm happy to say we've reached the apotheosis. Our journey is complete thanks to one TikToker who has finally pulled it off. The perfect prank. The airport bomb threat prank. A classic, but one that's only ever been talked about as a myth. A what-if pie in the sky. Experts said it couldn't be done. But finally, thanks to the hard work of one brain-dead, broccoli-haired worm that looks like a side character out of the Jimmy Neutron show, it has been proven not only possible, but a viable strategy of going straight to jail and facing some potentially life-ruining problems in the future. One TikTok superstar prankster decided to risk it all for glory, and it has not gone unnoticed. This is like the 4-minute mile, but for dog shit pranks. New ground has been broken with this airport bomb threat prank. His technique was flawless, putting on a pair of Toys R Us spy glasses. So he put on his Ray-Ban built-in recording camera glasses, approached some officers and told them that he didn't want any problems and that he had a bomb and a strap as well as Fent in his car. Of course he didn't actually have anything dangerous. By looking at videos and pictures of this guy, I imagine he would puke at the sight of just a single ounce of weed. He seems like a very sensitive soul who's just doing his absolute best to stand out in the sea of dog shit on TikTok. And the easiest way to do that is through pranks like this. I use that word so generously here, loosey-goosey. It's not a prank. You're just committing a crime. That's most of what the prank community does on TikTok. It's actually just committing crimes, whether it's going into the back of, fast food restaurants, bothering the employees, sometimes even just assaulting people, harassing people. that's kind of what flies as pranks, unfortunately.
Oh, my day is good.
That's all. I'm drunk as shit. So you see that little key over there? I was just drinking and driving.
You was drinking and driving?
Yeah, and I'm a threat.
You a threat to what?
Me, myself, and like everyone around me, basically. Like, I'm just generally like a threat. I'm drunk driving the key over there, and I actually have a fake ID. I have a strap on me.
You have a what?
A strap on me.
He does this particular style of prank pretty often where he just goes up to officers and talks about like drunk driving and having weapons, being on drugs, having drugs. It's a real hoot and a holler.
I have a white sedan over there. I am drunk and I'm driving. I just want to let you know that. And I am a threat.
Alright, do you mind providing me with your ID?
Got him! That idiot didn't know that this guy was just lying for TikTok views. Epic. He fucking got him super swag style, actually. So, he's done this a few times, but this is the first time he ever tried it with an airport bomb threat, and, well, let's just say justice is a dish best served with a side of ass. So he got arrested immediately, he'll likely be placed on a no-fly list, but he was released the following day after posting a $100,000 bond. Now, he didn't post that bond, that was 100% mommy and daddy's money coming to the rescue, protecting their sweet little boy. He didn't know any better. This goofball's still huffing Sharpies to get a little bit of a buzz. But his parents, you know, he can do no wrong. It must be some kind of mistake with the law. What, you mean you can't call in a bomb threat? I thought this was a free country. So they bailed him out, and he immediately posted on TikTok about how amazing life is and how he wants to spread positivity.
Life is good though. I want y'all to see that life is great. Your life is great too. Have a good time, man. Have some fun.
Oh, that tugs on your heartstrings. Spread love. While this guy's entire online presence is about bothering as many people as possible and making their lives a little more miserable for the sake of his TikTok clout. If you really wanted to spread a positive message, he should be talking about the beauty of goof juice and how you can get it at gamersupps.gg/moist, the best flavor ever made. But instead, I'm sure he's gonna go right back to these kind of pranks that he's become known for.
What would you like?
Sand.
Sand?
Man, I'm sorry. You don't work here.
He's lying now. Bro, it's my first day. No, I'm hella geek though. What are we doing? Whoa, you can't touch me.
Exploiting fast food workers. So positive, so strong, so brave. Yes, a beacon of love. What a hero. And I don't use that word lightly, but for someone like this, he's up there with firefighters, I think. A true prankster. Going there and just making all of the workers' lives a little bit worse because he's the main character, and we're all just NPCs, little props for him to use for his content. So, even though he regularly instigates different employees, especially the police, he's never done anything this stupid, his friend told them. And, well, he agreed. He's a big fucking idiot. He said he didn't realize the severity of what he was doing. Which I don't think is a good defense. I think there is a level where you are dangerously stupid that you should still be charged and thrown in jail because you are not fit for society. If you can't recognize that making a threat about blowing up an airport is a bad thing. He's currently facing a charge of threatening to use a weapon of mass destruction for an act of terrorism and could face a lengthy prison term if convicted. Fingers crossed. I'm praying that he faces a prison sentence because I really think pranksters like this need to be made an example out of because it is out of control. It is spiraled so far into lunacy. It's baffling. He's not the only one doing shit like this. This happens all the time with TikTok pranksters. And it's not just TikTok. I know there's YouTube pranksters that do similar shit. But there just needs to, at some point, be like a hard line in the sand where you just throw the book at one of these stupid assholes and hopefully it'll discourage copycats, because right now, a lot of people, especially someone like him, sees that there's a lot of TikTokers that blow up from just being an asshole that people throw tomatoes at and shoot spitballs at for these really degenerate pranks, and even though they're getting a ton of hate, it's growing their brand, and to them, it's worth it. So it ends up poisoning and inspiring others to follow that same path to success, and it leads to shit like this where they're just constantly pushing the boundaries. I referenced a case earlier where someone charged at someone in a parking lot and got shot to death. Well, only like a year ago, you might remember we talked about that prankster who was harassing a guy at a food court and also got shot. He managed to survive and still swore to continue doing pranks. I haven't checked in on him in a while because fuck that guy. But it's one of those things where even a bullet isn't stopping pranks. As long as they're not being punished by the law here, it seems like it's all just going to continue to get even more silly and stupid. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this douchebag a little bit. I have a sneaking suspicion he's not actually going to have this huge change of heart and start posting positive content, spreading love or anything. I think he's going to view this as a potential lightning rod to his career, where he's going to double down on this type of prank. But that's just my hunch. I'm no Nostradamus or anything. We'll see how it plays out. But anyway, that's about it. So yeah, it's finally here. Today's the day. Count your lucky stars and all your blessings that you were able to live long enough to experience this historic moment with me. The worst prank ever. An achievement that I don't bestow upon anything lightly, but once I go over this with you, I think you all agree. This is the worst prank that has ever been done. Behold the glory of the sucker punch prank, where a man on TikTok suffering from a terminal case of clout delusion is claiming that his series of attacks on strangers in a park is actually just part of his highbrow comedy series of pranks. I'll break the prank down for you because it's a pretty complicated one. So he went to a park and then sucker punched 2 strangers in the back of the head, and then threatened them with a gun, and then asked for one of their cell phones. Are you laughing? I mean, how could you not be? Haha. Really, timeless classic humor, really. I mean, that's a gut buster. That's some side-splitting comedy. He's been arrested for it, to no surprise, because he went up and just blatantly assaulted people and is calling it a prank. And then he even did an apology press tour, where he was interviewed after the fact. Let's go ahead and take a peek at it.
We're learning more about one of those social media pranks that is hardly funny.
A 19-year-old runs up on 2 unsuspecting people and sucker punches them in the back of the head.
Yeah,
this is not a prank. He just blatantly runs up and assaults 2 strangers while his friend is filming it.
Well, he's regretful. Honestly, I didn't expect him to answer the door, much less come out and talk. But tonight he says he regrets the behavior so many are now condemning online.
I'm not omniscient, but I'm going to tell you with 100% certainty, the only thing he's regretful of is that he's getting punished for it. That's it. He doesn't regret the actions.
Park, where he's accused of randomly punching strangers. Do you regret it?
Yes, I do.
19-year-old Alfred Lewis spoke with me about how he feels about it now.
You know, I just made a mistake, and everybody makes mistakes.
It's incredible how quickly that statement made me want to puke. I've never gone from feeling okay to ready to just expel bile like a fucking exorcism quicker than that statement. I've just made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. You fucking assaulted 2 strangers. They could have easily died from this. Blows to the back of the head are extremely dangerous. Sucker punches are extremely dangerous. You combine these 2 cowardly forces into this unholy fusion dance of degeneracy. What fucking mistakes are you talking about? This is planned, premeditated assault that you filmed the crime of. It's fucking crazy how dumb people have become. And dangerously dumb at that.
This is the video in question, first shared with KHOU 11 via the Nextdoor app. In it, you can clearly see Lewis striking a man in the head from behind before he turns around in shock.
Obviously, sucker punching is a super cowardly thing. I think the second you throw a sucker punch, you lose your right to call yourself a man. I think it is one of the single biggest bitch-made things you can do that instantly loses the respect of pretty much everyone in the world. But this guy takes it a step forward. This fucking coward not only throws a sucker punch, he throws it to the back of their head. Is there a single bigger pussy on the planet? I don't think so. I challenge you to find someone that's a bigger pussy than this guy, because not only is it a sucker punch, it's a behind-the-head sucker punch, which is, of course, the most dangerous punch you can ever throw. Blows to the back of the head are no laughing matter at all. It's extremely fortunate in this case that nobody ended up dead from this. What he's done is foul. It is downright sickening. It is, by all definitions, just an assault on 2 strangers that have done nothing wrong. Out of nowhere, just a completely random, unprovoked attack that they filmed. And I just have to point this out, the punches that he throws are the most pathetic punches that video cameras have ever had the misfortune of capturing in the history of moving pictures. It is unbelievable how awful these punches are. He throws it horizontally like this, and he like hits him with this part of his hand like he's trying to knock on a door. The reason that he brings a gun, I imagine, is because he knows if anyone tries to fight back after getting sucker punched by him, he would get his ass beaten and eaten. So he brings the gun as a deterrent so he doesn't end up getting fucked up. But I still can't get over these pitiful little patty cake punches that he tosses out there. They're not even knuckle sandwiches, because he doesn't use his fucking knuckles. They're like, Weenie Hut Juniors. Like Sloppy Sally's. Like, I don't even know what you'd call a punch like that. It looks like he's starting to go for like a classic motorboat move, where like a stripper throws her tits around like this, but he throws it as like a punch. It's fucking crazy.
I know, like, from the video, all you see is like the bad part about it, but what people didn't see was that I shook his hand after and how I had gave the man a hug.
By hug, are you referring to the chokehold you put one of them in after you asked for their cell phone, threatening them at gunpoint?
He initially held the complainant at gunpoint. Then, when the complainant refused to give up his cell phone, he hits the complainant in the head and puts him in a chokehold.
His statement here actually had me pause the video the first time I watched it and sit back and just reflect on the state of the world. This guy just said, you only see the bad parts about my assault. You didn't see the good stuff, where we shook hands after and I gave him a hug. What the fuck? What in the world? Oh my goodness gracious. That was a real statement said by him. Let that sink in. Let that marinate. Just let that stew for a second. After I sucker punched this guy, threatened him with my gun, put him in a chokehold, we shook hands. We were totally fine. He understood it was just a prank. I mean, I said it was just a prank, bro. Yeah, like, let's play with this for a moment. Hey, so I went up and I stabbed this guy for my TikTok prank, but don't worry, it was, of course, in a non-vital spot. He's going to live, and we ended up becoming really good friends, and I kissed him on the lips, you know, pat him on the ass, and told him, get to a hospital, buddy, and thanks for being a part of the content. It's fucking wild. This whole idea of, like, public assault as a prank is something everyone on the internet has made a joke about because of how extreme pranksters have been getting with just becoming either public nuisances or doing public assault on strangers. He's not the first one to do this, he's just the first one to do it in this way, with actually just beating people up in public and calling it a prank. And it's something everyone has joked about, saying like, yep, that's the trajectory we're on, and we're there. Hey, we did it, we made it. We're at the point where now sucker punching and threatening people with a gun is something that I guess some people on TikTok view as a prank.
That is something we cannot verify, nor can we confirm that another man seen in the video getting punched and grabbed later left on good terms, according to Lewis.
I really didn't expect for it to just go so left, you know?
I mean, honestly, who could have seen this coming? I don't think there's anyone out there that could have predicted this outcome. You know, what, you can't just punch strangers in the back of the head anymore without people getting all up in arms and upset about it? God, we've all become so soft now. I could have never imagined this would go so left.
And your mom's probably disappointed.
Yeah, she is.
Lewis said the harsh reaction to the video will make him rethink his behavior and hopefully be a lesson for others.
Before you go out and you do anything that you feel is bad or that could look bad, make sure like people know, or just don't do it at all.
It's a lesson I don't think anyone in the world needed to learn, because we all know that. We're born with that knowledge. We know not to just run up on complete strangers and brutally fucking assault them by hitting them in the back of the head with a sucker punch. I think everyone knows that. Like, you have to override that intrinsic trait that we're all born with. The only lesson here is that this guy and his friend are extraordinarily stupid and they need to go to jail for what they've done. You assaulted two strangers, threatened them with a gun, you need to go to prison for that. You can't do that. It's illegal. That's the lesson. Full stop. There's nothing about like, well, if you're about to do something that could make you look bad, maybe don't do it. It's not that. You did something bad. It didn't just make you look bad, you did something very bad. And now you should face the punishment for it. That's the lesson. That's the only lesson here. But I want to point something out. We just reached an extremely dangerous milestone in our development as a species. Like, the level of brain rot and mind poison that people are experiencing now has started to convince at least some people that sucker punching and pulling a gun out and threatening someone with it is not a crime, it's a joke. And they'll do it for social media attention. You remember Y2K, like the fear that the world's ending in the year 2000, technology's gonna come and fuck us in the butt while we're all sleeping, it's the end of it? Well, maybe they weren't super wrong, they just had the calendar miscalibrated, you know, they didn't, you know, adjust it properly to account for daylight saving time, you know, the angle azimuth, all those calculations. Maybe they meant it in this way, where in 2023 years after the death of Jesus Christ, we have reached the point where technology is turning people's brain into fucking mush, and it's turning them into monsters that will just assault people because it could get them attention online. Just food for thought. Maybe Y2K wasn't the most outlandish thing ever. Who really knows? But yeah, I mean it when I say, this is the worst prank I have ever seen now. Without question. That's about it. See ya. What's up everybody, it's Critical. It's not often I read a news story that really catches me off guard anymore, especially not one related to someone going to jail for something stupid, because it's well known around the world that the US justice system is just pure absolute smegma. There's more justice in the fucking Mad Max universe than in the US. However, today I did come across something that really did surprise me. A man named Josh Palault, who actively played Runescape, spent 6 years in jail for being too edgy in the game. There's rapists, real rapists, that spend less time in jail. Now normally when a RuneScape player goes to jail, it's over robbing someone for RuneScape GP. That shit's more valuable than real world gold. If RuneScape GP was an actual cryptocurrency, it'd be making Bitcoin look like Monopoly money. But this man wasn't holding up anyone for some fake money. He got arrested for being too edgy. If this is a little taste of what our future holds here, a little facial with pre-cum instead of the full load, then I have no doubt that half of Twitch chat will be behind bars in a week. Now Josh recently got out of prison after being in there for 6 years, and he did an interview with a YouTuber named Silent Core. It's a pretty interesting interview, and in it he seems pretty positive about his future, which I just find incredibly surprising. If it was me who got thrown in prison for 6 years for some bullshit edginess, if I said something like, oh fuck toilets, I'd rather shit on streets, and they tossed me in the slammer for 6 years, I'd come out of that shit angrier than the Hulk. You won't like me when I'm wrongfully convicted. I would be the angriest motherfucker on the planet. I'd turn into a supervillain as a result of that hogwash. So hats off to Josh for keeping his head up here. Now in a nutshell, the story is as follows. Josh was playing RuneScape, some kid told him to kill himself. Typical edgy humor, standard edginess 101. Josh, then being quite inebriated according to him, dials it to Edgelord 4000 and says, okay, I'll kill myself, but I'm taking the whole school with me. Pretty basic stuff if you've ever streamed on Twitch or YouTube, or pretty much been on the internet anywhere. You can go on the fucking Neopets forums and you're seeing the same type of edgy humor. I don't think anyone's ever actually giggled at edgy humor. It's all just pretty stupid and juvenile, but for some reason quite popular. And unfortunately for Josh, the kid then reported him to Jagex. Jagex then reported him to the authorities, and the authorities came, arrested him, and gave him 6 years in the big house. A classic Stephen King novel, just without the underage orgy in the sewer right before fighting it. What's the most surprising thing about this isn't that he was arrested for the threat. I at least can think of that in a positive way. Oh, they're paying attention to threats everywhere. I think that's good to an extent. However, they thoroughly investigated this, searched this whole house, got psychic evaluations and everything. They found no weapons. They found no indication that he was off the hinges and that he would actually do anything like this. He was professionally evaluated and they didn't think he was a danger to himself or others. Fucking teachers from his school would testify that he would never do something like this and they believed he was innocent, but it didn't matter. He still got 6 years in prison, and he spent 6 years in prison. Pure fucking madness. This is not only just an abortion and perversion of the word justice system, it's just downright embarrassing for everybody. That's fucking awful. It's just horrible what happened to Josh, really. Like, edgy humor, okay, you know, it's stupid, but you shouldn't be thrown in jail for being edgy. That's just absolute fucking insanity. insanity. I can't find any other words for this story. It just makes no sense to me why they'd even bother throwing the book at Josh or trying to make an example out of him to the fucking Runescape community. It's not like the Runescapers or the Yakuza. You don't need to make an example out of somebody from that community. You shouldn't be patting yourself on the back for getting a Runescape player off the streets. I just don't get the thought process here at all. It's not like throwing Josh in jail stops people from wanting to be edgy. It's not like the sad virgins that go on Tumblr to be edgy are gonna stop doing it because now Josh went to jail for it. All this did is take an important chunk of Josh's life away from him for no reason at all. Now I can understand wanting to punish someone for an edgy threat like that, but this is not the way to go about it. Throwing them in jail is just wrong. What you should do is confirm there was no real risk, which they did, and then punish them accordingly. You know, community in service for a year, no internet for a year, probation, something that doesn't ruin the person's life for being edgy and making a stupid decision. This whole story was just ridiculous and sad. But yeah, that's it. So yeah. For almost a decade now, I've said multiple times how the worst content on YouTube comes from YouTube pranksters. There is nothing more deplorable, heinous, or dog shit than a YouTuber doing pranks. Watching a prank video is more painful than walking in on your significant other cheating on you. There's only two unforgivable sins in the Lord's eyes, and one of them is watching pranksters, and the second one is not liking anime. It's just so fucking gross. The shit is so bad. It like really fucking terrible, and the douchebags behind the prank channels are some of the most insufferable assholes the internet has to offer. The man who goatseed himself is probably a more likable content creator than the entirety of the YouTube pranksters combined. His asshole has more personality than all of the androids behind these garbage prank videos. It's truly abhorrent stuff. And you know what I'm talking about, the walking around in public and pissing on people's shoes and then saying it's just a prank, bro, so they can't get mad at me, and if they get mad, they're the bad guy. I'm the victim here. I told him it was a prank. I don't know why he's upset. I just spit in his face. That kind of douchebag. Or swapping grandma's medicine out with ketamine, gone sexual. The worst people on the internet are the ones that are pulling pranks. Now, of course, they're all fake, but not every child knows that. And today, I'm going to tell you the story about a kid named Timothy Welks. Timothy Welks was a 20-year-old kid in Tennessee who grew up watching YouTube pranksters and aspired to be one himself. But he was never in on the joke. He never believed Santa Claus was fake. He thought the pranks he was seeing was real. And he had a plan to become a YouTube sensation prankster. His plan was to charge a family with butcher knives wearing a mask, and when he pulled this prank off 2 days ago, he was fatally shot and killed. What's especially wild about this story is this kind of prank, the robbery prank, isn't some unknown, taboo, uncharted territory kind of thing. He wasn't like Christopher Columbus discovering a new type of prank. This man was doing a very common prank. The robbery prank is one of the most common ones these insufferable assholes on YouTube will do, where they stage a robbery as a prank. They'll charge people with weapons like a fucking chainsaw or sometimes unloaded weapons or blades and shit while they're dressed as like Scary Steve from Minecraft and be like, give me your wallet and all your condoms, shit like this, and like shake them down for it. And then they'll be like, oh, it's just a prank, bro, you're not actually getting robbed. And like, oh, you jokesters, oh, you rapscallions, and that's the whole video. It's absolutely fucking terrible, but the people they prank are obviously in on it. It's all staged. Timothy Wilkes and other people like him don't know that. So Timothy chose someone that wasn't in on it, and he charged them with butcher knives as he was dressed up like he was from fucking Comic-Con, and he was shot and killed. And I don't know if this is real, but there is a source that was released by one of the publications that said it was the audio from the incident. And since this was filmed for a prank, there is clearly film of it that exists. But that hasn't been released. But I did hear audio. And his last words after the gunshots were, "It's just a prank, bro," as he was dying and crying. I don't know if that's real, but there is no doubt in my mind when this did happen, he absolutely shouted, "It's just a prank, bro." And those were most likely some of his last words. That is some of the saddest shit. You couldn't write a more poetically pitiful conclusion. To have been misled by these awful people on the internet to such a degree that you end up giving your life for the sake of a fucking prank. What an awful, awful, awful way to go out. The person I feel the most bad for is, of course, the man that shot him. He was a guy that was just acting in self-defense. He saw two people, Timothy Wilkes and his friend, both dressed up in masks, charging him with butcher knives, and he armed himself and shot. The dude's not like James Bond or Rambo. He wasn't going around hunting bad guys. He was getting charged by two people he didn't know with knives, so he armed himself and defended himself. And luckily he hasn't been charged with anything because he shouldn't be. It was clearly self-defense. Timothy Wilkes and his group were 100% in the wrong here, and it takes a real fucking psychopath to pull a prank like this. Like, it takes someone extremely delusional to think that this is somehow an okay prank or anything like that. These fucking pranks are so stupid. The punchline is literally, ha ha ha, you thought you were about to die. Now, of course, in all the other ones, it's all fake and the people are clearly in on it, but in a case like this, Timothy Wilkes literally thought this was going to be a good prank. Like, he'd go up to these people, make them fear for their lives, and then at the end they'd all be laughing, slapping ass, and then grabbing themselves a little beer or something. I just don't understand how someone could be so incredibly delusional. It's baffling. It's absolutely shocking and disturbing that someone could actually think that charging strangers with a butcher knife and then saying it's just a prank would make everything okay. It's fucking wild. But yeah, I wanted to just talk about this story a little bit because for years now I've mentioned how these insufferable asshole YouTubers that command their audience of 11-year-olds literally brainwash them into thinking horrible things are okay or normal, and that a lot of these kids don't recognize that the shit they do is fake, and that's bad and dangerous. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Timothy Wilkes isn't the only kid that believes the pranks he sees on YouTube are real. I'm sure there's others, but none of the other ones are crazy enough to charge people with knives and wearing masks like it's the fucking purge. So it's just one of those freak things that was always going to happen when you have absolute fucking degenerates making dog shit pranks where they're like kidnapping their friends and putting them through Saw games and then saying it's just a prank at the end and then everyone's all smiles. Fucking ripping their dick off and then just saying it's a prank and they're like, oh shit, you got me, yeah, my penis is gone, should have seen it coming, that was a fucking epic prank, friend. It's crazy. Fucking crazy. Horrible situation here, and I feel horrible for the guy that ended up killing Timothy in self-defense. That's gotta be a traumatic experience for him, and well, it's just a situation that should have never happened in the first place. Terrible. That's it. See ya.